Sometimes you stand quietly off to the side and think, do the things you see really exist, or do they only seem to exist to you? You ask yourself. These thoughts confuse your mind. The things you touch, the pains you feel, the joys you experience. What if all of them are more fragile, more sensitive than you think? What if they told you that what you call reality is not as real as you believe it is? What would you feel? And it is exactly at this point that this video steps in. Because the video you are about to watch is not a cartoon. This video is not for the one who merely watches, but for the one who bravely endures and understands that one wins the truth. Now for a moment, forget everything. Your name, your body, your past, even what you believe. Let go even of the idea of existence that was taught to you. Because there is such a name that, according to him, the real obstacle in front of a human being is not ignorance. It is thinking that he knows. The thing we call the world is actually not as solid as you think. Moreover, it is not real at all in the way you think it is. Here is how Ibn Arabi, the owner of that name, clearly expresses what he wants to say. The world is a barzakh between absolute existence and absolute non-existence. This sentence sounds simple to you, doesn't it? It isn't. As you go deeper into it, like a whirlpool, it pulls you downward, and you cannot get out. Now you will ask, what is absolute existence? What is absolute non-existence? What is barzakh? Let me explain, so listen carefully. But not from my own mind. According to Ibn Arabi, of course, if you have a share in it, you will take it at the end of the video. So according to him, absolute existence is this. Absolute existence is only Allah. But be very careful. This Allah is not an image of Allah that you can form in your mind. That Allah is spaceless, timeless, formless, limitless. So you can never think him or imagine him in your mind. Ibn Arabi says, every God you reach with your mind is your imagination. Everything you think is limited, and what is limited cannot be absolute existence. He exists, but not in the way you call existence. And here is where it begins. Concentrate deeply, because now we are coming to a more difficult place. That is the thing called absolute non-existence. This is not an emptiness the way it comes to your mind. It is not darkness either. Is it nothingness? No, of course not. Because even what you call nothingness is a concept. Absolute non-existence is that which has no definition, no counterpart. It is neither Allah, nor the world, nor existence, nor non-existence. Ibn Arabi becomes silent exactly here and does not speak. Because this is the place where words are exhausted and speech ends. But he also says this. Non-existence is not before existence. Existence is not the opposite of non-existence. So the oppositions you think you know may not be real, and the world is exactly here. The world is neither Allah nor non-existence. The world is the barzakh between the two. Now I know you are saying, what kind of thing is this? Barzakh is this, a place where two things do not merge into each other, but are not completely separated either. That is, like a dream. You are not awake, but you are not exactly asleep either. Here Ibn Arabi says this, the world is the imagination of the truth, haqq. Pay close attention here. He does not say lie, he says imagination. Because imagination is not something to be belittled. Imagination is the way reality appears. It is the stage of truth, the garment of existence. That is why he says, truth does not appear without imagination. So Allah does not show the world without imagination. Then if the world is real, why does everything change? Why does the body decay? Why does time flow? Why does nothing remain fixed? Ibn Arabi's answer is harsh, because the world is not a fixed existence. The world constantly changes form, like a shadow. Is a shadow real? Yes, but you cannot hold it. You cannot fix it, and it is not permanent. That is why he says, the world is a fleeting dream. Now the real question, if the world is a dream, what are you? Does Ibn Arabi escape here? No, of course not. You are not Allah. But you are not completely separate either. You are not absolute existence. But you are not absolute non-existence either. So, do you want to know where we stand? To that question, he answers like this. You are in the barzakh. That is why sometimes you feel very powerful, sometimes as if you don't exist at all, sometimes full of meaning, sometimes completely empty, because you are an in-between being. I can almost hear you asking, then why does the world exist? I was a hidden treasure. I wanted to be known. But be careful. Allah did not create in order to be known. He imagined in order to behold himself. The world is the mirror Allah holds up to himself. It is real, but it is not absolute. That is, it is not infinite. It exists, but it is not independent either. Ibn Arabi is most misunderstood exactly at this point. Those who say everything is Allah are mistaken. This is ignorance. Ibn Arabi says this, everything is not Allah, but nothing is without Allah. Whoever misses this line falls either into denial or into idolatry. So why does this world feel so real? Because imagination is very powerful. You feel fear in a dream, don't you? You cry. You even feel joy. The stronger you see it, the stronger you feel it. But when you wake up, what happens? You understand that it was a dream. According to Ibn Arabi, death is the great awakening. This world is our closest state to a dream, but it is not empty. This place is the testing ground of meaning. Now, to be honest, this knowledge will not make you rich. It will not make your life easier. It may not comfort you, but it adds something to you that is powerful. Do you know what it is? It takes fear away from you, because you realize that nothing you lost was absolute, nothing you gained was permanent, and you were never as alone as you thought. Ibn Arabi's final words are these: let existence not frighten you, let non-existence not terrify you, because you are the secret between the two. And now, we stand here. This narrative did not give you definite answers. It did not draw a path either, because Ibn Arabi's concern was not to guide, it was to lift the veil. If what you saw disturbed you, you are in the right place. If it confused your mind, it worked. If something quietly poked at you inside, this video achieved its purpose. Remember, truth does not always comfort, but it awakens. If this narration left a mark on you, like the video, because that means the continuation of this kind of content. If you want to continue this journey, subscribe to the channel. Because there are no quick answers here, but there are deep questions. And now the most important part, I want you to write this in the comments. What did this video shake in me? I will read it, because some questions are not asked alone. See you behind the next veil. Stay on Mysterious Train.